evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Good evening and welcome to Sinsheimer Stadium in San Luis Obispo. Tonight we've got the second and final game between the SLO Blues and the Menlo Park Legends on the Blues streaming network. The Blues are hunting for a sweep tonight in Game 2. SLO walked its way to a victory last night, drawing a season-high 16 walks en route to an 18-11 win. It was easily the longest game of the season, creeping up on 4 hours, and it felt like even longer. The Blues didn't look their sharpest, but took advantage of the Legends' gaffes for their third straight win. Tonight, Marcelo Saldana gets the ball to look to grab another W in the final game of this 9-game homestand. On the other side, last night was a night to forget for Menlo Park. The Legends jumped all over Blues pitching with 14 hits, but it was their own arms that cost them the game. The Legends just made too many mistakes on the mound and committed 4 errors in the field behind their pitching. Menlo has now lost 5 of its last 6 games and will try and right the ship tonight, sending Kevin Pence to the hill. Can the Blues finish the homestand with their 4th straight win, or will the Legends escape SLO with a series split? We're about to find out with first pitch on the way on the SLO Blues streaming network. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, I'm Jack Smith underneath this weird gray day in San Luis Obispo with temperatures around the 60s, but tomorrow and Sunday, big days for the Blues, but that does not mean they can look past the Menlo Park Legends today. The Legends are 1-5 in their last 6 games. The Blues have won 3 straight, so things are trending in the right direction if you're San Luis Obispo, but you have to take the Legends seriously, come out and compete in this final game of this 9-game homestand where the Blues have started all these games here at Sinsheimer Stadium. They go on the road tomorrow, though, too. Santa Barbara to face the Foresters, but you got to get a win here today and finish out with a 4-game win streak before heading to Santa Barbara. We're going to take a step away and then be back for first pitch here on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
The Legends are on the line. The Blues are taking the field, which means one thing. We're just a couple minutes away from first pitch here at Sinsheimer Stadium, readying up for the national anthem. We're going to let you take a listen as we step away.
Special singer today of the national anthem. The name is Jamie Pinelli. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would ask you to kindly stand and remove your hats.
twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous sky, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It may be gloomy, but it's time for baseball here in San Luis Obispo, and everyone is ready. Here at Sinsheimer Stadium, we'll introduce you to the starting lineup for the visiting Menlo Park Legends. Colin O'Driscoll, who came into the game as a pinch hitter yesterday, is back in the leadoff spot. He plays left field. Nick Thompson, who hit third yesterday, is moved up one spot. He plays right field and hits second. Danny Peters, after a 3-for-4 day, plays first base and bats third. Josh Quinn, the lone legend with a home run, hits cleanup, plays third base. His teammate from Cal Lutheran, Ryan Farr, who pitched yesterday late in the game, plays second base and bats fifth. Rowan Felsch with a 3-run homer last night, DHs today and hits sixth. Antonio Nanez, the shortstop, is in the 7 hole. Ethan Payne will be in the squad catching, and he bats 8th. Ryan Anderson, the center fielder from the City College of San Francisco, hits 9th. And on the mound for your San Luis Obispo Blues, it's Marcelo Saldana, the 6-foot, 190-pound left-hander, tossed 4 scoreless innings and got the win in the rubber match on Sunday against the Solano Mudcats, and he's back out there on the mound for the Blues today. The Blues walked a team-high, season-high, 8 yesterday. They gave up 14 hits, but the offense did enough to win the game comfortably by 7 runs. But Dean Traynor, I'm sure, talking with the staff, they want to pitch better today in this second game against the Legends, and they hand the ball to Saldana, who was excellent in his Blues debut last week. Saldana pitched this past season for CSU Bakersfield, had a 6.38 ERA in 36 2/3 innings pitched. He walked 31, struck out 29, and made 2 starts. But this is his first start here for the Legends in the summer, or for the Blues in the summer. Appeared in that last game, coming out of the bullpen in his first appearance of the summer, and ended up going the distance, earned himself all those innings down the stretch. Here in the first, he'll face O'Driscoll, Thompson, and Peters as the Legends look to escape San Luis Obispo with a series split. They hit well yesterday. They did not pitch well yesterday, and I'm sure they want to turn the tides before heading back to Menlo Park in the Bay Area tomorrow. It's O'Driscoll who's due to lead things off here in the first. O'Driscoll, Thompson, and Peters, the batters that are due up, as Saldana readies up to pitch the first pitch here in the top of the first inning. Game 2 with this 2-game set. Saldana is ready from the stretch. He kicks and deals. And that is in there for strike 1 on the inside corner. And that's how this game gets started. First pitch, 6:06 p.m. Saldana toes the rubber again. Now fires. And that's foul. That'll play off the bat of O'Driscoll. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. First pitch temperature here in San Luis Obispo, a crisp 60 degrees. 0-2 count on O'Driscoll. And he strikes out swinging. A 3-pitch strikeout is how this game gets started, and there's one away. We'll take you around the defense for your San Luis Obispo Blues. In the outfield from left to right, it's Jacob Ruley who makes his outfield debut for San Luis Obispo. Jariah Lewis from San Jose State plays center field. He's in the game for the first time this summer. Jason Hansen's in right. Hicksonbaugh and Acosta on the left side. Price and Pemberton on the right side, and Bold is in the squat. The pitch from Saldana to Nick Thompson is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Thompson went 0 for 5 yesterday. The right-handed hitter from Cabrillo College. 0-1. And that is a little bit upstairs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Blues decked out in the brand new yellow uniforms. Those are new to San Luis Obispo this year. 1-1. Way upstairs. The Legends donning the blacks with the green letters outlined in white, green socks, and everyone's got the black helmets and green hats. That's in there for a strike. Scoreboard was wrong here at San Luis Obispo. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. That was a 3-0 pitch. As Saldana looks to come back in the strike zone again with a 3-ball count. He deals, and a big swing and a miss by Thompson. It's 3-2. Saldana struck out 4 across those 4 scoreless innings against the Mudcats, and he's already got 1 strikeout here through 1 batter. He strides and shoots. And another strikeout. That was foul right back into the glove, but Bold hung on, and there are 2 away. Saldana wasn't known for his strikeout stuff for the Roadrunners this past year. Averaged under a strikeout an inning. But here he's got 2 in the first for the first 2 outs. He looks in at Danny Peters and deals a fastball in there for a strike. Peters, who hit down the order yesterday, had a really nice game. 3 for 4 with a run batted in. He also drew a walk as well. Saldana delivers and misses outside with a fastball. It's 1-1. Saldana's right back up on the hill. He comes home, and that's the changeup that misses a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Saldana's bounced around. He was a freshman All-American at Fresno City College back in 2020. Since then, 2 years for the Roadrunners. As Peters swings and misses to even up the count at 2-2. So 2 seasons at Fresno City College, 2 seasons at CSU Bakersfield. A summer last year for the Humboldt Crabs, and that's how he's ended up here in San Luis Obispo. 2-2. That's foul. That'll play. A last-ditch effort by Peters to catch a piece of that one, and it stays 2-2. On deck, if Peters can extend the inning, is Josh Quinn, the cleanup hitter, playing in his first game in this series. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Saldana comes home and misses way outside to the backstop. It's 3-2. Saldana taps his chest, says that one's on me, and now has to come in with another full count. Saldana delivers, and that's inside. So a 2-out walk puts Peters aboard, and Quinn will come to the plate. That was close, but a little bit too high. Walks were the story here yesterday. In total, 24 walks. The Legends drew 16, which was the most that they have taken in any game this season. And believe me, they've taken plenty. But Legends pitching, or Blues pitching, also walked more hitters than they had in a game all year. 0-0. And Quinn laces that one down the left field line. It falls for a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Rulli chases it into the corner. It bounces off the wall. Peters stopped at third. And there goes the throw from Acosta, blocked by Bold. A 2-out double. And now the Legends have something working here with 2 away. Josh Quinn jumped on the first fastball he saw. The only man on the Legends roster with a home run. Now adds a double to the mix, and there are second and third with 2 outs. Here's pitching extraordinaire Ryan Farr. Farr, who led the Legends in runs batted in at the plate last year, came in as a position player pitcher late in yesterday night's contest with the balloon score, and now he gets his first chance with a bat in the series. Saldana comes home and gets a strike on the high fastball. Farr hitting 182 with 3 runs batted in, for the Legends so far this season. It's Peters at third, Quinn at second, after the walk and the double, both with 2 outs. Saldana kicks and deals and misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Legends had a similar spot like this in yesterday's game where the first 2 batters got out, but then they came around to score 2 runs in the top of the first inning, and it all started with a 2-out walk. 1-1. That's in there and fouled back to the screen. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Saldana looking to get out of this inning and keep the Legends off the board. He comes home 1-2. And that's in the dirt. It squirts away from Bold. There's going to be a play at the plate. A lofted throw gets away from Saldana, and the Legends come in to score on the wild pitch. The second game in a row that the Legends have brought across a run in the first inning with 2 outs. And the Blues cannot limit the damage. Another 2-out run allowed by Blues pitching here in 2023. Farr trying to reach and maybe bring in Josh Quinn at third and give the Legends another run. Here's the 2-2. And Farr flies it to right field. It's in the park, and Hansen tracks it towards the line. He puts his glove up and makes the head-high catch to retire the side. The Legends score 1 with 2. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. It is 1-0 Menlo Park. We welcome you back here to Sinsheimer Stadium for Blues and Legends, and here's how the Blues line it up in Game 2 of this 2-game series. Nin Burns is still in the leadoff spot, but he's not in the field. He's DHing for the first time this year. Jacob Ruley in a new position as well, but still hitting second for the Blues. Jariah Lewis making his Blues debut here in 2023 from San Jose State. Plays center field, hits third. The 4-hole hitter is Jason Hansen. JP Acosta, another debut Blue, hits fifth. Luke Pemberton plays first base and hits sixth. Darius Price, yet another new Blue, hits seventh. Jake Bold is behind the plate again. He hits eighth. And Jake Hicksonbaugh is back in the lineup. He hits ninth. Nin Burns is due up to lead things off, and he'll face off against the right-hander Kevin Pence from the Menlo Park Legends, with the Legends already up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning after scoring yet another 2-out run in the top half of the frame. Pence delivers, and Burns takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Pence has thrown 1 inning for the Legends so far this summer. It was scoreless. He did give up 2 hits, though, and struck out 1. The Sidewinder deals and spots up with a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on the fastball. Burns hitting .231 for the Blues with 4 runs batted in. He had a good day yesterday. 4 walks as well as a 2 RBI single. 1-1. He flies it out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burns was the only Legend with 4 walks. There were a collection of Blues that had 3, But Burns the only one to reach base 4 times on a base on balls. Behind in the count 1-2 as Pence looks to start the inning with an out. Here's the pitch. And that is strike 3 called at the top of the zone. 1 strikeout, 1 out for Pence here in the top of the first. That's something the Blues don't do too often. When they strike out, which has not been too often this summer, it's almost always swinging. And it's a looking strikeout for Nin Burns to open up the game. And now Jacob Ruley comes up. Pence looks in at Ruley, a .313 hitter in the young summer. He squares to bunt and pulls it back to take the breaking ball for a strike. Ruley has 2 doubles and a triple. That triple came with 1 out in the first inning yesterday before he was eventually stranded at third. He hit a rocket out to center field and just barely missed a home run. 0-1, and that's in there for strike 2 on the fastball. Pence is filling up the zone, which is welcomed by everyone here at Sinsheimer Stadium after the way last night went. Just a lot of non-competitive pitching from both teams, not around the strike zone whatsoever. Pence is 0-2, and Ruley takes it low. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pence from Vanguard University. The junior right-hander, right back on the rubber, first base side of the mound. 1-2. And Ruley checks his swing and takes it outside, but you say you go around. An appeal to first base, and Ruley's down on the check swing. There's 2 outs. It looked like it could have been a strike anyway, so for Ruley, I don't think there's much to complain about there. That was a really nice breaking ball on the outside corner. And now it's Jariah Lewis making his first appearance at the plate for the Blues here this summer. Showed up yesterday. He's in the lineup today playing center field. The lefty from San Jose State digs in. Pence delivers. And Lewis takes a strike with the fastball. Final game in this 9-game homestand. The Blues open up the season with 9 games at Sinsheimer, and they'll finally have to go on the road tomorrow, traveling up to Santa Barbara, or down to Santa Barbara, to play the Foresters. Lewis cranks that one to deep right center field, but it is out of play. Right field, that was, and completely out of play. Lewis turned on the fastball, but just couldn't keep it fair. So an 0-2 count as Pence looking to strike out the side and get the Legends right back in the dugout. He delivers, and Lewis pops it up. This is in the shallow center field. Who's going to make the play? Everyone converges, and it's O'Driscoll, the left fielder, who slides, and he can't make the catch. Lewis was hustling all the way, and he ends up at second with a double. Well, there's a way to get your first hit as a Blue. Just pop it up where nobody is and run all the way. So Lewis is aboard in scoring position for Jason Hansen. Hansen hitting .214 this summer, but he's really hot. The last time that we saw him was against the Solano Mudcats. He had 2 triples in 1 game, and he didn't even start. That was off the bench. He came away with those 2 3-baggers. Lewis jumps off second base, and he takes off for third. Here's the throw from Payne. It's into the outfield. Lewis right back on his feet. He's coming in to score. It's 1-1. Lewis showing off the speed. He hustled for the double. He hustles another 180 feet and puts the Blues on the board. They even things right up here in the first. Welcome to the Blues, Jariah Lewis. The pitch was a ball as well. So it is it's been changed to a strike after Pence asked about it. So it's no balls and 1 strike here on Jason Hansen, who lines it out to center field. It's hanging up for Anderson, and he comes in to make the catch. But Jariah Lewis puts the Blues on the board nearly by himself. And it is 1-1 as we head to the top of the second.
sky, there's some strange...
Top side of 2 here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and the Blues have tied it up. It's 1-1. And if you thought that today's game was going to be low scoring, I think you were mistaken. After the way last night's game went, there have already been 2 runs scored today through just 1 inning. And Saldana delivers to Rowan Felsch, and it's fouled out of play. 0-1. 29 combined runs scored yesterday. At least we have lowered the projection today through another inning, but Felsch tags it deep to right field. It is out of play. Would have been his second home run of the series, but he couldn't keep it fair. That ball was hit 337 feet, foul to right field, 97 miles an hour off the bat. And Felsch, if you watched yesterday's game, has a lot of power. 0-2 count, and he takes a fastball outside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Felsch hit a towering home run to bring in 3 runs out to right center field, nearly to the 365 marker in right center. The 3rd home run the Blues have given up this summer, and they've still yet to hit one themselves. 1-2, and Felsch pops it up foul. Felsch on the day was just 1 for 3, but you finish the day with a home run and 3 runs batted in, and you're on top of the moon, even in a 7-run loss. Saldana comes home, and Felsch lines it into right field, base hit. Rowan Felsch has a nice stroke working here at Sinsheimer Stadium. He's made himself right at home. And there's a no-out base runner for the Legends. So Felsch with his second hit of the series, and now Antonio Nanez coming up, the shortstop from San Francisco State, who enjoyed himself a pretty nice day yesterday too. He was 3 for 4 with a run batted in. Felsch gets his lead off first as Saldana looks that way. Now Saldana down Broadway gets Nanez to fly it foul. It's no balls and 1 strike. The Legends scored in the top of the first. After the first 2 batters were retired, it went walk, double, and fly out. The run scoring on a wild pitch out of the hand of Saldana. Pick to first, not in time to get Felsch. The Blues ended up getting the win yesterday, though, in that marathon game. They've scored 37 combined runs over the past 2 games, which, if you total everything up, is more than they scored in the previous 6. There's a hit-and-run play executed perfectly by the Legends. They go station to station, and it's 1st and 3rd. Felsch was on the move, and Nanez just tapped it right past second base. Got himself a hit as Price was over to try and cover the throw. And the Legends playing some small ball here, and it's working out. Here's Ethan Payne. The catcher wants to make up for the throw that went into left field that allowed the Blues to score their 1 run. And Payne takes that fastball upstairs. Payne, the catcher from Cal State Dominguez Hills, popped up from his squat and just airmailed the 3rd baseman to allow the Blues to score in the bottom half of the first. Saldana trying to work around the hits. He deals, and it's flown foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Payne hitting .091 on the summer for the Legends, but he's high up on the RBI chart. He's got 4. So the hits have been limited, but he's bringing in the runs, and he's got a similar spot to do so here with runners at the corners and nobody out. Saldana brings it home. And Payne chops it foul. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Saldana now has an ERA after the first inning. He had gone 4 scoreless in his previous appearance for the Blues. Needs a lot of help to get out of this inning without allowing a run. 1-2. And that's outside into the backstop, off the glove of Bull, the catcher. Another run comes in to score on a wild pitch. And it's errors galore here at Sinsheimer early. So the Legends right back on top where they left off last inning. It's now 2-1. As Felsch came in to score, Nanez moves up to second. And now Payne just trying to shorten up with 2 strikes and at least get the runner over to third. Two on the way. And Payne strikes out swinging. He tapped it right back into the glove of Bold, but he held on with the mitt. That's the 3rd strikeout for Saldana. Still not out of the inning. Ryan Anderson's coming up. Anderson, the center fielder from City College of San Francisco, hit .334 this past season in his sophomore year. And he takes that one a little bit low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty on lefty with another left-hand hitter, Colin O'Driscoll, on deck, the leadoff hitter. Saldana looks back at second, now comes home, and that's chopped on the ground towards short. This will be a long throw for Acosta. He goes to third, and it's off the glove of Ricken and towards the Legends dugout. Another run's coming in to score, and Ricken eats the ball near the Legends dugout, and another run is in. It's 3-1. Acosta tried to make the play at third, throwing to Hicksonbaugh to try and get the tag down on Nanez, but the throw was a little wide, and the Blues looking sloppy again. They've allowed 2 more runs in this inning, and there's still only 1 out. Here's O'Driscoll, the leadoff hitter, as that's scored an E6, and O'Driscoll squares to bunt and taps it foul. Each team has an error now. And for the Blues, there have been a lot of unforced errors where Saldana has thrown 2 wild pitches with runners at third. That's how the Legends have scored 2 of their runs. Saldana comes home and is upstairs with the breaking ball. Looks like he might have crossed up Bold. It's 1-1. O'Driscoll struck out swinging to start the game on 3 pitches. Since then, it's really gone downhill for Saldana. The 1-1. That's a big swing and a miss on the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Saldana's had the strikeout stuff. 3 strikeouts already. But it's the walks, the wild pitches, and then the error by Acosta at short that have been his undoing here early. 1-2 the count with a runner at second. He looks back there. Now comes down Broadway and misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. O'Driscoll had an RBI after he came into the game yesterday night. Wants to add another here, put the Legends on top by 3. The 2-2, and he strikes out swinging for the second time. 4 strikeouts for Saldana, and his first 5 outs, and they're 2 away. Another one of the strikeout victims of Saldana, Nick Thompson, is coming up now. The right-hander from Cabrillo College struck out swinging the same way on a 3-2 count back in the first inning. After that, though, with 2 outs, the Legends brought across 1 run. They've scored 2 runs here in the second. Thompson takes a curveball in there, strike 1. It's no balls and 1 strike. Saldana, glove held to the belt, looks back at the second base bag and delivers and misses outside with that curveball. It's 1-1. We mentioned 29 combined runs yesterday. And the Blues, who have scored 37 across the last 2 games, going to need the offense again today. 1-1. That is fouled off the helmet of Bold. And back out of play. It's 1-2 as Bold takes his mask off. Looks like he's okay, but that was a wicked foul ball. 1-2 the count on Thompson, who's 0 for 6 in this series. A hit here would bring in another run for the Legends and make it 4-1. Saldana fires, and he struck him out swinging. 5 strikeouts through 2 for Marcelo Saldana, but the Blues have 2 runs. As we head to the bottom of the second, it is 3-1 Menlo Park Legends. Home half of the second, and the Blues trail by 2. Here early on in this game, they bring up J.P. Acosta, Luke Pemberton, and Darius Price. 2 debuts in there, and it's Acosta to lead things off, playing in his first game for the Blues here in the summer. Acosta had the error last inning at shortstop, tried to make a heads-up play to third, but just missed by a foot or so with his throw, and the ball bounced away to allow the Legends to score a run. But the recent high school grad heading to Long Beach steps in. Pence delivers and misses upstairs. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Acosta, the Tri-River Athletic Conference Player of the Year in 2023 at Buchanan High School around Clovis, California. 1-0. And Acosta swings and misses at that changeup, and he's going to take a walk and talk to himself. It's 1-1. 6 foot, 185-pound switch hitter, batting left-handed in this at-bat with the righty Pence on the mound, who got 2 outs, gave up the bloop double, and allowed Lewis to come in on the stolen base. He's generating a lot of whiffs from the Blues. 2 strikeouts already, and he's got Acosta in a 1-2 hole. Pence with his front foot offset, kicks and deals. And Acosta strikes out swinging. He tapped it foul, the umpire at home says. That was close. He must have just barely nicked a seam as that ball skidded back to the backstop. Here's another 1-2. And Acosta now strikes out swinging. Another changeup, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Pence. There's 1 away. Pence is featuring the fastball. We've seen the breaking ball that's got a lot of movement with his sidewinding delivery, but it was the changeup that he threw 3 times to Acosta and got him to swing and miss each time. And with 1 out, here's Luke Pemberton, the first baseman from Pepperdine. Pemberton hitting just .083 so far for the Blues. He's got 1 hit and a walk, but he bloops that one over the head of the first baseman, Peters, and it bounces in fair territory. Pemberton takes a turn, but he stops at first base with a 1-out single. Both hits that the Blues have not been hit very hard, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Luke Pemberton has his 2nd hit. That one was hit just 53 miles an hour off the bat of Pemberton, but when you look in the box score, you won't be able to tell. A hit is a hit, and you can't tell Luke Pemberton otherwise. As he stands at first, the Blues just need base runners to try and come back early on. There was a lot of traffic yesterday, a whole lot of runs. And for the Blues, it was more walks than hits, as has been the theme for the season. Here's Darius Price, who takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Price making his Blues debut here in 2023. played nearly 40 games this past season for the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. Teammates with Nin Burns II. Hit .243, had 7 home runs and 22 runs batted in. Tied for the team lead in homers, despite tying with a guy that played over 10 more games than he did. As a pick goes to first, and Pemberton's back in with a dive. So a lot of power for the new second baseman for the Blues, Darius Price. Pence picks again, and he throws it down the right field line. Pemberton steps up under the cleat of the first baseman, Peters, and he ends up at second on the error by the pitcher. Pence couldn't get Pemberton out of his head and threw a little bit too high over Peters, and now the Blues have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And this is just the way the game went yesterday, where you'd have a bloop hit or a walk, an error or a wild pitch or a missed throw, and both teams were circling around the bases like they were going around a Monopoly board. 0-1 the count on Price, who's in an RBI opportunity in his first at-bat for the Blues. Pence kicks and deals, but now picks back to second and throws it into center field. Pemberton was picked off, but now he ends up at third base. A turn of events for the Blues, and now a run standing 90 feet away. Pemberton fell for the spaghetti move, but Pence could not make a good throw and tossed it into center field to allow Pemberton to advance another 90 feet. It is just that kind of series. As now the corners are coming in for the Legends. Might try and cut off a run, as Price is just waiting to see another pitch. The count's still no balls and 1 strike. Here it is, and that is on the outside corner. It's no balls and 2 strikes, and Price feels like he's been cheated out of 2 pitches off the outside corner. So now he's got to shorten up with 2. Stick the bat out there, put it in play. 0-2. And he chops it towards third. Quinn comes in, makes the running stop, throws home, and it is in time to get Pemberton. He's tagged out by Payne as Josh Quinn gunned down the runner at home. Pemberton almost got in, but was tagged out at the last second. 2 outs now on the inning, and a real nice defensive play by Josh Quinn, the third baseman, to keep the Blues off the board again. And now coming to the plate, it's Jake Bold. Price is at first as Pence gets ready to dish it to the Princeton catcher. He comes home, and Bold swings and misses. Bold got his first hit of the summer yesterday. He's now hitting 125, a couple of walks, 2 runs batted in. Pence gets some help from his defense after the 2 bad throws on pickoff moves. 0-1. That's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Price put it in play 0-2, but that's one of the spots you don't want to hit it to. With a third baseman playing in, Pemberton took the gamble and was thrown out. Here's the 1-1. And Bold lofts it to left field. In comes O'Driscoll, the left fielder, at the last second. He reaches out and makes the two-handed catch. Blues don't score. A runner's thrown out at home. We head to the top of the third inning, and it is still 3-1 Legends.
The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Through 2 innings, it's 3-1 Legends, and Saldana's back out there to face 3-4-5 in the Legends order. It's Peters, Quinn, and Farr, with the righty Peters due up first. Saldana comes home and misses low with the fastball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. The Blues have won 3 games in a row, but are trailing here early. That 3-game win streak that the Blues are on right now, longer than the longest win streak the Blues had all of last summer. That's right, the longest win streak for the Blues in 2022 was just 2 games. So they're already off to a better start this summer than all of last year. Trying to win their 4th straight. 2-0. And Peters lines it into the right center field gap. It falls for a base hit. Trying to cut it off in right field is Hansen. He slides, kicks it around, and his throw goes into second base. Peters aboard with a leadoff double. The Legends just keep on hitting. They had 14 hits yesterday, and that's already their 4th hit here today in just the 3rd inning. And now Josh Quinn, the leadoff hitter, comes to the plate. He doubled his last time up back in the 1st, advanced Peters to 3rd after his walk, and Peters eventually scored on the wild pitch from Saldana. Quinn is 1 for 1. A delivery and a fastball in there for a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. Quinn, the starting shortstop down the stretch of this season for Cal Lutheran. Had a chance to talk with him before the game yesterday. Said really worked hard and some things worked his way with some injuries on the infield for Cal Lu, and he ended up getting the starting spot, and he might have another base hit as that falls in front of the center fielder Lewis. Another single. It's 1st and 3rd, and now Quinn takes off for 2nd as the throw bounced off the first baseman Pemberton. 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out for the Legends. I can't even get the notes in. The Legends are getting hits that quick. That's now 5 on the day. And the Legends are cooking once again against Marcelo Saldana. Here's Ryan Farr, who flew out to right in his first at-bat. Quinn with the single and advanced on the throw. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And Farr tags it on the ground to 3rd. Hicksenbaugh looks Peters back to the bag and throws across the diamond to 1st. 1 pitch, 1 out to Ryan Farr. And that was a big get for Saldana. And a good play by the kid, Hicksenbaugh at 3rd, who checked on the runner before throwing across the bag. Rowan Felsch, who hit a foul home run and then straightened it out and hit a single his last time up to the dish now. That led off the 2-run 2nd inning for the Legends. Now Saldana trying to bear down with 2 runners on and just 1 out. He deals, and Felsch bends back out of the way of that high fastball, 1-0. 3-1 Legends as they're trying to get out of SLO with a series split. Here's the 1-0. And Felsch chases it in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Felsch now 2 hits in this early weekend. First game was yesterday, second game today, and the Blues will wrap it up tonight before heading to Santa Barbara tomorrow. 1-1. Tries the curveball again and hits the outside corner. It's 1-2. Really the first time that we've seen Saldana use the curveball, and it's been effective here to Felsch. We'll see if he has the guts to throw a 3rd. He shakes. Now has the sign he wants from Bold. And Felsch steps out and has time granted. Saldana's right back in the stretch. He delivers. Felsch strikes out swinging. Big strikeout for Saldana, and now there's 2 away. So the Legends got runners at 2nd and 3rd, but since then, a non-productive ground out and a strikeout. And they need just 1 more out, the Blues do, to get out of this inning without allowing a run. The batter is Nanez, who's 4 for 5 in the series. He singled back in the second on a hit-and-run play with Felsch on the move. The Blues play the infield completely back as Pemberton backs up about a yard or two on the dirt. They'll have to go across the diamond to get the out. 0-0 to Nanez. He bends back and takes a fastball inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Saldana deep in his bag of tricks. He deals, and that's a pop-up down the first base line. Pemberton chasing it in foul territory, and it's about 2 yards into the Blues bullpen. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Pemberton's new to first base. That's something that the coaches here and the coaches at Pepperdine want him to pick up. He gets his first appearance for the Blues at first base in today's game. Saldana looks back at third and now focuses home and brings it home. And spots up on the outside corner with a fastball. It's 1-2. He's 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. It's Peters at third, Quinn at second. They both had hits to open up the inning. Since then, a ground out and a strikeout. And Saldana a pitch away from escaping without allowing a run. He strides and shoots. And there's a grounder to second. It's off the mound for Darius Price, who comes up with it and throws on to Pemberton for the out. Great pitching from Saldana with 2 on and nobody out. And the Legends do not score. We head to the bottom of the third. It is still 3-1 Menlo Park. The Blues are coming back up, still chasing 2 runs in the bottom of the third, and they will bring up the bottom of the order in Jake Hicksonbaugh, but then the top of the lineup, Nin Burns the second and Jacob Ruley. But it's the kid heading to Monterey Peninsula College, Jake Hicksonbaugh, who steps in first. The left-hander leans his bat out and looks out at the right-hander, Kevin Pence. Pence has worked 2 innings. He's given up 2 hits, made a couple of errors, but he's only allowed 1 run. And Hicksonbaugh takes a fastball for a strike. Hicksonbaugh hitting .500 for the Blues in the limited opportunities he has gotten this summer. He's got 2 runs batted in as well. 0-1. And that is outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Blues threatened but didn't score last inning as Pemberton was at third and Darius Price hit a chopper towards the third base bag. Josh Quinn, the third baseman, came home with it and got Pemberton by a step to erase the runner. 1-1. And Hicksonbaugh swings and misses at the changeup. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count, 3-1 our score. 5 hits for the Legends, just 2 for the Blues. Pence strides and shoots, and Hicksonbaugh pops it up. On the left side of the infield, heading out into shallow left. It's O'Driscoll who calls everyone off, and he makes the 2-hand catch. So Hicksonbaugh is retired, and now back to the top of the order we go, and in Burns. Pence has been around the strike zone far more than any Legends pitcher yesterday. The Legends walked 16 Blues in yesterday's game. Now, the Blues have walked a lot this year, but that was by far the most that they have had in a game. The Blues have taken 70 walks in 8 games so far this summer, as Pence steals and Burns takes it outside. So averaging just under 10 walks a game, but the 16 by far a season high. And the walks have really generated a lot of offense for the Blues, as they do for many teams across baseball. Burns taps it off the middle. It's off the glove of Pence. He steps up and fires a rocket to first in time to get the speedy Burns. For the Blues, though, the walks have been extra important this year. They're 6-2. In their 2 losses, they've drawn just 8 combined walks. So you see the correlation there, where when the Blues get on base for free, they've been good at taking advantage of those opportunities and bringing in runs. When they haven't, the offense has not been as lively, and the Blues have lost both those games. Here's Jacob Rulli with 2 outs. He takes a curveball down low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Rulli struck out swinging in the first. Tried to check his swing. Didn't think he went around. But on appeal to first base, they said that he broke the 90-degree plane. And he was out on strikes. 1-0. Rulli chops it to third. Quinn has it on 2 hops. His throw across the diamond is in time. The Blues go 1-2-3. And we head to the top of the 4th inning. It is still 3-1.
Hey, it's time for the SLO Blues golf giveaway.
but mankind won't be destroyed.
It's the top of the fourth, and the Legends still have the lead. They are up by 2 as Ethan Payne steps into the box against Marcelo Saldana, who's still out there for the Blues. 3 runs in 3 innings for the Legends, and they're still on top here in Game 2 of this 2-game series. And that fastball misses low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 the count on Payne as Saldana gets into his windup and fires and hits the zone with a strike. It's 1-1. One and 1 the count on Payne. Saldana back into the stretch. He kicks and fires, and that's low and in. And I'm joined by Blues general manager and co-owner Adam Stowe. And Adam, I want to talk with you about the way that this homestand has gone. 9 straight home games for the Blues. It's a 6-2 start for the team, and the fan support has been excellent throughout the first couple of games. What's your perspective been of how well this season has gone for the Blues so far?
Actually, it's been wonderful. I can't believe how much fan support we've had. The players have been great. The staff's been wonderful. It's been a great homestand so far.
Payne chops it on the ground towards second. In comes Darius Price, the new second baseman, throws on the run for the out, and there's one away. 1,294. That's the average so far through 8 games for the Blues. When you took over, could you ever have imagined the city coming together, gelling so much to watch this team play?
Yes. It just took a decade. I think our first year we averaged 327 people per game, and it's been a slow climb, but we are getting to where we want to be.
Well, the Blues have played really well on the field as well. And one thing that shocked me is there's a chopper towards short. Acosta's in, throws on the run, and another out via the ground ball. There's 2 away. The Blues want to make this inning go really quick now that you're finally here in the booth. But what's really surprised me is it's not just the fireworks days either. It's every game, be it a Thursday like we saw yesterday, even a Sunday before everyone's got to go back to school. It's crazy how many fans are really showing up here, staying throughout the game, and they've really enjoyed these first 9 games.
You know, it's really a tribute to the staff we have in the offseason. We have a lot of marketing programs going on where we're contacting a lot of groups and trying to get different people in, and they've done an amazing job as evidenced by our attendance. This is by far the most I've ever seen for our opening homestand.
Well, I think it helps, too, to have 9 straight home games to open the year, and it's got to be fun for the team. They don't have to travel for a while, but they do go to Santa Barbara tomorrow to start league play. And, of course, you've seen the CCL for over a decade now, as you're talking about. What's the one thing that you love most about CCL in general?
The quality of baseball and the quality of people that are involved in the organizations we work with. Hands down. They are top-notch.
There's a fly ball to left field, and this inning might end quick. Rulli is under it and makes the catch. We'll have Adam join us again for the bottom of the 4th inning as the Blues still trail it by 2.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact
Jariah Lewis is up to lead things off for the Blues here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It is still 3-1 Legends. Lewis, one of the new players making his Blues debut today, doubled and scored the Blues' lone run back in the 1st inning. And Adam Stowe, the general manager and co-owner of the Blues, is still with me here in the bottom of the 4th. And I think Jariah Lewis is a really good example of the type of roster the Blues have cultivated this season. Around 30 players the Blues expect to be playing at the Division I level are here this year. Is this the most talented roster that you've seen the Blues create, or at least up there with some of the ones that you've seen throughout your summers?
It's a little difficult to tell. Sometimes teams look great on paper and get here and they're done. They don't want to play. And sometimes they look mediocre and they get here and they play their butts off. On paper, I would say this is one of the most talented rosters we have ever had.
As Lewis readies for the 1-1, takes the changeup outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. But you're right, it's team players are rolling in still, and the Blues still haven't had their, I think, top talent that you see on paper. They're finding ways to win games in different ways. We saw good pitching the first couple weeks, and these last 2 games, the Blues have put up 37 runs here and made the fans pretty happy with fireworks on and off the field, as that's fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I think you're right that the general sentiment is if you just get good baseball players in that want to play, they're going to play their tails off and play well throughout the stretch of the summer.
Yep, absolutely. like you mentioned, we still don't have a good chunk of our team. I'm very happy with the way these guys are playing. Our coaches are using our players well, and honestly, we're saving arms for league play, which is wonderful. I think we'll give Santa Barbara a run for their money this weekend.
And 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lewis as Pence delivers, and Lewis cranks it out to right center field. This is going all the way to the gap, and it's off the bottom of the wall. Lewis is charging around second base, heading for third. 2 extra base hits to start his Blues career, and Lewis is aboard with nobody out.
That's the way to make a statement.
Well, he blooped the double in there in his first at-bat, but he left no doubt that time and missed a home run to maybe the deepest part of the yard by a couple of feet. 378 feet off the bat, and Lewis is on at third with nobody out as the Blues look to come back down by 2. But the Blues head to Santa Barbara tomorrow, another one of the CCL South league mates, and then they come back here on Sunday. What's your pitch to fans to come out and watch the Blues and Foresters here in SLO on Sunday?
Whew. Come out and watch the best 2 teams in summer ball on Sunday here.
Hansen lines it to center. It's hanging up for Anderson as Lewis tags from third. Here's the throw. It's cut off by Peters. It's 3-2. Hansen with the RBI sac fly, and the Blues are back on the board and within 1 run. So Hansen picks up the run batted in, and Lewis, who led off the inning with his triple, is in to score. He scored both of the Blues runs, and he's making a really nice first impression for Blues fans here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Hansen with his 7th RBI already on the summer, giving Trevor Schmidt a run for his team lead. Couple more things I wanted to ask you about, Adam. I was reading a really nice article that was posted on the CCL page that was all about the way that the Blues are run as a family. And being here so far through 8 games, I've seen similar things. But your mom is still obviously working with the Blues, the host family coordinator. Saw the quote, you said you think she's the best in the country. Why is that?
I think she's the only dedicated host family coordinator in the country, or one of them. She's done an amazing job. She took over about 10 years ago and said, I'll do it for this season. 10 years later, she's still here, and we have more host families than we need. It's wonderful.
Really a testament both to the hard work by the staff as well as the families in SLO that want to house players. And I'm with a host family this summer, so I'm really appreciative of the work that you guys are doing. And it's really awesome to have a summer ball team that is able to provide housing for players, whether they have cars or not, close to the stadium, wherever they need to be. And it's really helpful, I'm sure, to be able to get this talented group of players.
Well, it's really helpful to have such a great fan base and such great community support. I mean, we wouldn't have 40 host families available if people didn't support the Blues, and they've come out of the woodwork, and we've done a great job of holding on to them. I mean, the return rate for host families is something like 95%, and the only time they don't come back is when their kid is coming home from college for the summer, or they're traveling to Europe for a couple months. It's been an amazing program, and she's developed it all. She even has a committee this year working with her.
JP Acosta fouls that one off. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Acosta, who's making his Blues debut here in 2023. But the fan base has shown up, and I think they're a big fan of a lot of the traditions. I'm curious, what is your favorite of the Blues traditions that you see when you come to every game?
I guess I would have to say hot sauce.
Hot sauce, okay.
Yeah.
Was that here when you arrived, or is that something that has started since you took over?
No, that came with me from the University of New Orleans. The privateers down there had a hot sauce, privateer heat. And so when I came back to San Luis, that just seemed like a natural extension. And Bon Tom's Creole Cafe was a wonderful partner, and they have been ever since.
Acosta takes that one a little bit outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Are you a hot sauce on your food kind of guy, or was that just tradition you liked with you?
Oh, no, absolutely. I'll dump that on. It's like ketchup to me.
On anything?
And anything that needs hot sauce, yeah.
I'm not a hot sauce person. Maybe I'll pick it up, though, throughout the summer if I'm able to win one. Maybe I'll go buy a program one day and see how that goes.
Going to have to dump a bottle down your throat.
Acosta swings and taps it foul. The count's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. I was actually talking with my host family who was here. They've come to basically every game, and they have for years. And they said just last week was the first time they've won a bottle. And I talked with someone else, a friend of mine who showed up for a game. The first strikeout of the first game he ever went to, and he won hot sauce.
We give away hot sauce a lot. I'm surprised it's the first time they've ever won, but I'm glad they did.
A lot of hot sauce given out this season, especially early with the amount of strikeouts. As here's the 3-2. And Acosta strikes out swinging. It's in the dirt. Payne is up with it and throws to first for the second out. You mentioned the staff, and I'm curious, what are some of the parts you like most about seeing a staff rotating in and out every year, and what your position is in helping the staff work throughout the season, and how much you see them progress from start to end?
Wow, that's a 27-part question.
Yeah,
Nico Calancini has done a fantastic job hiring our staff this year. Really, you hire the smile and the personality, and you train the skills. And he has hired fantastic people who are motivated. And yeah, we work with them a little bit throughout the year, but really, if they're not good people to start and good workers, we can't do much. But this staff is fantastic.
It's a no ball, one strike count on Pemberton, who singled for his second hit of the summer back in the second, was eventually thrown out at home trying to advance on a ground ball. The 0-1. Slider misses inside, 1-1.
And we do work a little bit every day on different skills, professional skills with these kids. I mean, our goal is to get them a job when they graduate. We're supposed to be a complement to their academic programs, and we want them to get hired in this industry. They work for us, we'll work for them. We'll make sure we get them an interview, and we'll write them a great letter of recommendation.
It's a development team for the team on the field, and as well as you're developing a lot of professional skills with many people who want to go and work in the sports industry. And it is such a hard industry sometimes to find jobs in, but a team that's run primarily on interns that are showing up every day to put on a show for all these fans, at least I can say from personal experience, it definitely helps being able to work in this professional setting.
Oh, it's wonderful. The college kids bring a great attitude and great atmosphere and all sorts of energy, and that keeps us young. It keeps us motivated, and really they do it for us, and we're just here to help them and our players get better.
Pemberton pops it up on the infield. This could be the end of the inning. It's the shortstop Nanez who's near the mound, and he makes the call and retires the side. The Blues add another run as we head to the top of the fifth. Adams, thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of the game here at Sinsheimer Stadium.
Thanks, Jack. You're doing a great job.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
What's going on the field, which is pretty awesome. We're right back here on the SLO Blues streaming network, where the Blues have come back within one run, but it's still 3-2 Legends in the top of the fifth. Saldana's back out. It's Thompson, Peters, and Quinn coming up for Menlo Park. The pitching has come back on in this one. Through 4 innings, only 5 runs after there were 29 combined runs last night. Saldana, the lefty, working through his 5th inning of work. Looks in at Thompson, who's 0 for 6 on the weekend. He takes a fastball low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Thompson has struck out twice today, both swinging. Here's the 1-0. That's in the dirt as well. 2 balls and no strikes. The Blues, even if they lose today, with their win yesterday, still have not lost a series this year. If they lose today, it would be a 2-game series split. That's fouled out of play. But the Blues, through 9 games, no series losses. They swept the Coastal Dodgers to start the year. They split the 2-game set against the Bay Area Admirals, beat the Solano Mudcats in 3 games, and they've worked at least a split here against the Legends. That's in the hole at short. Acosta slides, throws across the diamond in time. What a play! Everyone making their Blues debut is impressing here at Sinsheimer Stadium. As this time it's Acosta with a nifty slide and a great throw. He robbed Nick Thompson of his first hit of the weekend, and out comes Danny Peters, who is 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. Saldana comes home, and Peters takes a strike. The Blues, though, however, with the win today, would officially have more non-conference wins than the entirety of the 2022 summer. They would improve to 7-2 as Peters chops it foul. It was a season to forget last year for the Blues, who finished 20-26 overall. For the Blues right now, 6-2, going for their 7th out-of-league win. 0-2. That's upstairs. Many thanks again go to Adam Stowe, who joined us for the entirety of the 4th inning. It's great to hear from a man that has shaped the Blues into what you see on and off the field today. As Peters takes that curveball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I can speak from experience that he has been such a help to our staff here this summer in 2023, always willing to lend a helping hand, offer his advice, and he just loves to put on a show for the city of San Luis Obispo. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Peters, who now has 4 hits on the weekend. 2-2. That's in there. Strike 3 called, and Saldana's got another strikeout. That's his 6th of the day through just 4 2/3. And the craziest thing, that's the first strikeout looking. He'd been generating a lot of whiffs with 2 strikes, but this time he froze Peters on the inside corner, and with 2 outs, here's Josh Quinn. Quinn is 2 for 2, playing in his first game here against the Blues this season, and manager Nick White wants to have a chat with him with 2 outs. You call the rare hitter timeout, where instead of a mound visit, it's the coach coming out to speak with the hitter. Quinn doubled in the first, singled back in the 3rd inning. Nick White could have been trying to generate a little bit more time for the arm that the Legends have in the bullpen. That's really one of the only reasons I think he'd want to go out there and talk with Quinn, a guy who already really has a strong head on his shoulders, a really good approach today. He takes that curveball low. But the Legends do have a righty warming up in the bullpen, and we may have seen the last of Kevin Pence, who's thrown 4 full innings after coming into today, having only thrown 1 all summer. 1-0 count on Quinn. And Josh pops it up foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Quinn burst onto the scene in his 2nd season at Cal Lutheran, played in nearly every game. He was one of 4 players to hit over 300 with 100 at-bats or more, and was the 2nd highest qualified slugging percentage on the entire team. 1-1, he swings and misses at the changeup, 1-2. A .313 average, .493 slug. He hit 4 home runs and had 30 runs batted in. Here's the 1-2 from Saldana. And that's lined towards third, and Hicksonbaugh traps it. He gets up, throws it across the diamond in time for the out. A 1-2-3 inning for Saldana, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is still 3-2 Menlo Park. pitcher for the Menlo Park Legends. So Pence is done after 4 innings. The new arm is Mickey Radonovich. The right-hander has thrown 5 innings for the Blues, or for the Legends so far this summer. He's got a 4.2 earned run average. He's given up just 2 hits, but 7 walks. Pumps in there in the mid-80s, but it's all about whether he can stay around the zone. Radonovich, a sophomore at San Francisco State, so he's come to join the Legends with second-year head coach Nick White. He'll face Darius Price, Jake Bold, and Jake Hicksenbaugh, the bottom third of the Blues order. And Price takes that one outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Bottom of the 5th, Legends still up by 1 here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Radonovich into his windup, and he deals a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Price, who reached on a fielder's choice. He had an 0-2 count with a runner at third, chopped it towards the third base bag, and Josh Quinn went home to get the out there, and Price was aboard. 1-1. That's outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Radonovich, a really great past season at San Francisco State on the mound. He had a 2.92 earned run average across 37 innings pitched as a freshman. As he comes home 2-1. And Price chops it towards second. In comes Farr, the second baseman. Fields it on the forehand and gets Price out. Radonovich gave up 41 hits across those 37 innings. Only walked 7, though. So he's walked as many this summer in 5 innings as he did in 37 innings as a freshman. Had 18 strikeouts in those 37 innings, though, and was able to keep the runs off the board for the opposing teams he faced as a freshman. And that's in there for a strike on Jake Bold, the catcher, who flew out to left in his first at-bat. The 0-1 to Bold. And Bold takes it for a strike. It's 0-2. Jake Bold, the lone freshman at Princeton this past season to hit above 300. Still looking to find a way to use his bat here in SLO. 0-2. It's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runs are at a little bit more of a premium today than yesterday, and the Blues want a base runner here with 1 out. Bold tries to check his swing. Did he go around? No, says the umpire here at first base. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Bold able to check his swing on that slider outside by Radonovich, and the count 2-2. Radonovich into the windup. He kicks and fires. And Bold strikes out swinging. Vicious hack. And he came up with air. There's 2 outs. We've seen that a lot from Bold here early, where he's taking the really big swings, still just trying to get that A swing off even with 2 strikes. Just does not have it perfectly calibrated yet here at Sinsheimer Stadium. And he's the second out in the inning, and Hicksenbaugh comes up. 0-0. Jake Hicksenbaugh rolls it foul. It's no balls and 1 strike. Hicksenbaugh also flew out to left in his first at-bat. A couple of hits so far this summer for the rising freshman at Monterey Peninsula College. 0-1. And Hicksenbaugh lines it past the second baseman Farr and into center field. He takes a big turn around first base, but he'll stop there with a 2-out single. Hicksenbaugh continues to hit in this Legends lineup, or the Blues lineup. He's a rally starter at the bottom of the order, and now Nin Burns flips the lineup card over, and the Blues have their leadoff hitter up for the 3rd time in the 5th inning. Burns is struck out looking and grounded out back to the pitcher. That was Pence who got the start and went 4 innings. But Nin Burns has been swinging it well as of late. The 0-0. He laces it foul, backing out of play. It's 0-1. Burns in the Sunday game against the Solano Mudcats hit a 375-foot double to right field. In yesterday's game, had an RBI single to left and also walked 4 times. Bunch of runs, a pair of stolen bases. He's been a run producer for the Blues at the top of the order. Radonovich picks to first, and Hicksenbaugh's back in. He gets that navy blue oven mitt, the hand protector right under the tag at first. Seeing a lot of runners using those recently. It also does manage to add a couple inches to your hand, so you can slide in. That's in the dirt, and he will slide into second or stay there standing up. And a runner in scoring position for Burns. Hicksonbaugh advances, and now a single with Hicksonbaugh's speed could tie this game up. Burns wants a new bat. He's heading all the way back to the Blues dugout, asking for a new piece of lumber. I guess he must have broken it the slightest bit on the foul ball. He also might want pine tar, but it looks like a pitcher in a hoodie is bringing him a new bat, and that's exactly what it is. A new piece of wood for Nin Burns. He fixes his grip and will step up back to the plate in a 1-1 count. A broken bat on a foul ball. Not many worse feelings than that in the sport. 1-1 the count on Burns, the Cal Poly Pomona Bronco. Hicksonbaugh dances off second, and that's where Radonovich checks on him, but no throw. Payne, the catcher, is going out to talk to his right-handed pitcher now. This must be a conversation to just focus on Burns or work on their signs with a runner at second. Because what you don't want to do is allow Hicksonbaugh to relay to Burns what pitch is coming. If you watched the Astros a couple seasons ago, you know how that goes. 1-1 the count. Radonovich kicks and deals, and Burns flies it foul. It's off the on-deck hitter, Jacob Ruley, who was able to put his hand up and deflect it. It's 1-2. You know, the on-deck circles are really close. You're almost surprised that doesn't happen more often. But now a 1-2 count as Radonovich looking to get the final strike to end this inning and strand Hicksonbaugh at second. He strides and shoots and misses way outside all the way to the backstop, and Hicksonbaugh advances 90 feet. He takes the turnaround third, but he'll stay there. As the count moves 2-2, Hicksonbaugh moves 90 feet away from scoring and tying this game. Burns has 4 runs batted in already for the Blues. The Blues, who are scoring just upwards of 7 runs a game on average, trying to find some more offense here today in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2. And that's outside on the curveball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A walk would bring up Ruley, who is 0 for 2 today, but has 3 extra base hits in just a couple of games played with the Blues. Here's the payoff. And Burns takes that fastball a little bit too high. As the legend started racing back to the dugout, it's a walk for Nin Burns, and Ruley will bat. Tough pitch to take if you're Burns. He struck out on a very similar fastball looking in the first, but trusted his eye and earned himself a walk. And if I know Burns, and we like to think we do early on in this season, this is a steal spot for the speedy center fielder. He already has 7 stolen bases on the summer, and he stands at first. Could put himself in scoring position if he goes. He does not, and Ruley takes a fastball too low. Ruley hit north of 300 this past season at CSU Bakersfield and is right around that mark for the Blues so far. 1-0. He chops it on the ground. Radonovich has it off his glove. He spins around, throws to first. In time for the out. Almost another gift for the Blues, but Radonovich picks up for his mistake as we head to the top of the 6th inning. It is still 3-2 Legends.
there's some strange evolutionary process going on. But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
That's the end of the tennis ball toss. There is, again, no winner. I still want to pick up a tennis ball and try and throw it in here from the press box, but I don't think it's possible from our angle. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and it is 3-2 Menlo Park as the Blues threatened but did not score again in the bottom of the 5th. And now they only got a couple more outs to work with on offense, and Marcelo Saldana is out for his 6th inning of work to try and keep this one in just a one-run game. The Blues almost scored as Rulli hit what should have been a routine ground ball for Radanovic, the pitcher, but as he had to climb off the mound, it bounced off his glove. Most players get upset with themselves after something like that, but he really scurried over to try and pick up the baseball and threw a dart to first in time for the out to keep the Blues off the board. Saldana extra warm-up pitches because of the mid-inning antics and the tennis ball toss to home plate. But now he's finished up, and he readies up to face the Legends here in the top of the 6th inning. They're bringing up Ryan Farr, Rowan Felsch, and Antonio Nanez. And Saldana has settled down since the 2nd. He allowed 2 runs in the 2nd inning, 1 run in the 1st, but since then working a lot quicker. And he had his best inning last inning where he went 1-2-3, got 2 ground outs and a strikeout. And with Farr stepping to the dish, 0 for 2, Saldana's ready. Farr pops it foul. It's no balls and 1 strike. It is worth noting for the Blues, they do have another lefty warming up in the bullpen. It's Omar Reynoso, who we've seen in mostly a starting role, but he is preparing for if he has to come in after Saldana to maybe pitch a little bit more of the meat of this game. 0-1, and that curveball is low, and it hit Farr in the foot. So a free 90 for Ryan Farr, and he's aboard with nobody out. Farr's at first now with no outs, and for the Legends, they're just trying to get base runners and add some insurance runs. And they'll take a runner any way they can get it. So the hit by pitch is well welcomed. And Rowan Felsch, who has really brought the measuring tape with him to San Luis Obispo, is up now 1 for 2. Hit a foul home run earlier that went just about a mile deep and about a mile foul. That one is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Homered yesterday as well. He's got 2 hits on the weekend, the home run and the single back in the 2nd before coming around to score 1 of the 3 runs. He swings and misses at that vicious fastball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Saldana pitching deep into this game for the Blues. 1-1. And Felsch hits an inside-out fly ball to left center field. Rulli calls for it, loses his hat, but makes the catch in the outfield. The throw ricochets off the shortstop Acosta, but Price is right there to clean it up, and there's 1 out. So with 1 out, Antonio Nanez is coming up. He is 4 for 6 in this quick 2-game series. He's got a run batted in. Saldana now at 86 pitches, so you feel like no matter what, this is probably his last inning of work. As he misses high with an 0-0 fastball, it's 1 ball and no strikes. It could be Saldana for 6 and Reynoso for 3, as the Blues are still trying to conserve some pitching for the 2-game set with the Foresters this weekend. 1-0. That's in there. Strike 1 call. Nanez from San Francisco State, one of a handful of SF State players on this Legends team. We mentioned in yesterday's broadcast that second-year head coach of the Legends, Nick White, went from Menlo College to San Francisco State last season. And so he's bringing a lot of the familiar talent with him. Gets to look at them throughout the offseason as well with the Legends. 2-1 the count on Nanez, who's got 4 hits. 2-1. That's in the dirt. Nice scoop by Bold and a 3-1 count. Three and 1 on Nanez. Here's the pitch, and that's upstairs. A 1-out walk puts a runner in scoring position with just 1 away. The Legends are looking down at that bullpen to see if Reynoso's ready. And you wonder how quick the trigger finger of Dean Traynor is going to be, and now he's walking out. That might have been the last pitch that we see from Saldana today. With Traynor, it's a little bit more than 50-50. Sometimes he goes out there to talk. Sometimes he goes out there to take the ball.
The latest Blues uniform clothing, t-shirts, foam fingers.
This looks like it might just be a discussion. This could be the last batter for Saldana coming up. Now around 90 pitches on the night. It's Ethan Payne who's coming to the dish. He's handled Payne well, and Trainor's going to let him stay out there. He's struck out Payne back in the second, and he got Payne to ground out to second in the fourth. And Payne, who's hitting under the interstate, below 100 this summer for the Blues, will stride in against Saldana, 2 runners on and 1 out. The Blues return back to their defensive spots. Saldana is working from the stretch. He looks back at second and deals. And Payne lines it back to the netting. It is no balls and 1 strike. Nanez is at first. He just walked. The hit by pitch to Farr. And he's at second. That led off the inning. The 0-1 on the way. It's on the outside corner with the fastball. And Payne jumps out of the box. Does not like the call, and the count is 0-2. It didn't need to be a strike, but it was still placed well on that outer half. 0-2. Tried it again and missed low. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you know you're getting the outside corner, it makes sense to go back there on an 0-2 count, which is exactly what Saldana just did. See if he tries it again, 1-2. He kicks and deals. And misses with the curveball upstairs. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was close, but sometimes when you break the breaking ball a little bit too high, you don't get the call. 2-2 the count. 2 runners on, 1 out. Saldana delivers and misses way inside. Payne had to jump rope back out of the way of that one, and the count is full. From 0-2 to 3-2, and that takes have not been all that hard for Payne. And he's just trying to walk or knock here with 2 runners out. Here's the payoff. And Payne hits a little looper into right field. It drops in front of Hansen, the right fielder. He comes up with it. Farr's being held at third, and Ethan Payne's got a 3-2 hit on the little weak fly ball to right. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just ask Luke Pemberton. He's playing first base for the Blues right now. He had himself one of those hits a couple innings ago, and now Dean Trainor's making the voyage back out to the mound, and this is sure to be the end of the day for Saldana. Traynor points to the pen. Reynoso throws his last warm-up pitch, and we're going to step away. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Legends. A new lefty coming in. We'll be right back on the SLO Blues streaming network.
I are working here today is evidence of that.
Omar Reynoso is the new pitcher for the Blues, and for Reynoso, it's been a tale of two starts. His first start, he went 6 scoreless innings. The last time out against the Solano Mudcats in a rubber match, he only managed to go 1 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 4 earned runs, just too many walks. Even things out, he's got a 4.15 ERA across 8 2/3 for the Blues. And now he comes in a big spot, bases loaded, 1 out, with the Blues trailing by a run, and he faces the 9-hole hitter, Ryan Anderson. And Reynoso, the big left-hander, works a fastball, changeup, and a big curveball. Needs to be precise with 3 runners on. He deals to Anderson and spots up with a fastball. It's tapped on the ground towards second. The Blues go to second for 1, and they are not going to have a throw at first. A run comes in for the Legends, 1 out for the Blues, but it's 4-2. Price was able to get the runner at second, but too much speed out of the left-hand batter's box for the center fielder Anderson. The Blues will trade a run for an out, but they don't want to give up too many more, as the offense hasn't been able to bring across any runs against the Legends today. And now trying to keep it a 2-run game. Reynoso looks in at O'Driscoll, the leadoff hitter, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. 0-0. And O'Driscoll flies it foul. No balls and 1 strike. Reynoso, who just finished up his senior season at St. Joseph High School, will head next year to San Mateo College. And in fact, his teammate will be Colin O'Driscoll, who's at the plate. O'Driscoll is one of 2 players in this Legends lineup that is from San Mateo. It's O'Driscoll and Felsch who will be teammates with Reynoso next year. And a big curveball gets a swing and a miss. Runner's going to head to second base with no throw from Bold. So it's no 2 count, but now 2 runners are in scoring position for the leadoff man for the Legends as they look to tack on some insurance here in the 6th. Reynoso stares in, waiting for his sign. He shakes once, now he's got it. From the stretch, he holds his teal glove at his belt. Now he fires and misses outside with a curveball. Bold blocked that with just his forearm, but keeps it in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now time is called as Bold wants to work through the signs again with Reynoso. Omar at a .64 ERA in 51 1/3 innings pitched this season at St. Joseph. And he took the leap after transferring prior to his senior season. Had pitched for Rigetti High School in his sophomore and junior years. Combine those 2 years, a 2.53 earned run average and 102.1 career innings pitched. The signs have been worked through, and Bold is retreating back to behind the plate. 1 2 count on O'Driscoll, with Nanez at third and Ryan Anderson at second. The 1-2 offering is a curveball, and O'Driscoll fouls it off at the last second, still 1 2. Blues trying to keep it close and bring the bats back up to rally back against the Legends here in Game 2 of this 2-game series. The 1-2 pitch is strike 3 swinging. Big curveball again, and O'Driscoll couldn't catch a piece. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Legends have to come back, or the Blues have to come back from down 2. Leading off here in the bottom of the 6th for the Blues is Jariah Lewis. How about 2 extra base hits in your first 2 at-bats for the Blues? As Lewis, the San Jose State Spartan, has doubled, tripled, and scored both of the Blues' runs. And now he leads things off against Mickey Radonovich as the Blues trail by 2. The 0-0 pitch as a fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Lewis hit .210 this past season for the Spartans. 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Here's the 1-0. He swings and misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Lewis started 26 games for the Spartans, who ended up going to the NCAA tournament after winning their conference. A real nice season for the team from San Jose. And that is outside. Lewis, who previously was at the University of Southern California, transferred to San Jose State a couple years ago, and he's really loved the change. He was telling me during batting practice he's just about 40 minutes away from home. And he launches the 2-1 deep to right field. Thompson's going back. He looks up. It's out of here. Jariah Lewis has 3 extra base hits in his first 3 at-bats, and he hits the first home run for the Legends in 2023. Windmill slap as he crosses third, and he steps on the plate to make it 4-3. That was launched. 352 feet off the bat, 95 off the bat, and Lewis is hit for every part of the cycle except the single. And the Blues are on the board. What a shot from the Spartan. Now a 1-0 count on Jason Hansen, and the Blues are right back within 1 run. Lewis showed up, and he said, "Hey, how come you guys haven't hit a home run yet?" And he said, "I'll do it myself," and put it over the right field wall. What a shot. Hansen is 0 for 1. He does have a sacrifice fly and an RBI, as that's in there for a strike. Anyways, to finish up my story on Lewis before he rudely interrupted with the first Blues home run, living in Alameda, California, he's 40 minutes away, so his family can come watch him play at San Jose State, as that misses outside 2-2. And Lewis, in his first 3 at-bats for the Blues, has a double, a triple, and that big home run. He scored all 3 runs for the Blues. 2-2 to Hansen, and Hansen flies it foul. No more waiting for the Blues' first home run, and Lewis is walking around the dugout with the biggest smile I've ever seen. Here's another 2-2, and Hansen lines it back to the netting. Have a day, Jariah Lewis. Radonovich into the windup, another 2-2. And Hansen takes it low. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the changeup. I think Lewis knew that one was gone off the bat, too. It was a deep fly. 3-2. Hansen hits a deep liner to center. Anderson has a beat on it, though, and he puts his feet down and makes the one-handed catch. So Hansen flies out, and now there's 1 out in the inning. JP Acosta also making his Blues debut. The switch hitter hitting against another right-hander. Will bat left-handed. He has 2 strikeouts today, and his first game for the Blues in the summer. Radonovich into the wind. He deals and spots up with that slider. It's 0-1. Acosta, as we mentioned, recent graduate of Buchanan High School, heading to Long Beach State next year. 0-1, and he nubs it foul. Tri-River Athletic Conference Player of the Year in 2023. Played for a high school national championship on ESPN back in 2022. This Buchanan High going big places in the high school baseball world. 0-2. And Acosta rolls it on the ground towards short. Nanez rolls in and throws across the body to get the out as Acosta's retired. So 2 outs in the inning. And now here comes Luke Pemberton. The Blues are within 1 on the home run from Lewis. They still have work to do. We're here in the bottom of the 6th. The Blues still have to come back trailing by 1 run. Pemberton is 1 for 2. He hit a bloop single to right back in the 2nd inning. As he takes that slider on the outside corner for a strike, it's 0-1. Pemberton playing first base for the first time this summer. Just finished up his redshirt sophomore season at Pepperdine. And he takes that one low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. He had 13 hits in 48 at-bats as a member of the Waves, but finished the season on a great note with a 3-hit, 4 RBI game against BYU in the season finale. He pops that one up down the right field line. Thompson, the right fielder, is giving it chase. It's the first baseman, Peters, who's the closest to it, but it falls foul. Pemberton in his 2nd season with the Blues as well. He played in 19 games here in San Luis Obispo last summer. 8 hits and 51 at-bats. And the big issue for him was the strikeouts. He struck out 32 times, which was 2nd on the team despite the lower amount of games played. He's fixed that so far this summer, but is just trying to stack hits as he works throughout the league season. 1-2, and the curveball misses high. Pemberton, 6'1", 190 pounds from Lafayette, Colorado, heading into his redshirt junior season. 2-2. And he grounds it up the middle. It's off the mound, and it heads to Nanez on the weird hop. He throws high, but it's in time to get Pemberton by a step. The Blues hit their first home run of the summer, and Jariah Lewis brings them back within 1. We head to the 7th, and it is still 4-3. Top side of 7 here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and the Blues now trail by just 1 as Omar Reynoso's back out there after getting the final 2 outs of the last inning, and he faces 2-3-4 Thompson, Peters, and Quinn, and misses way high with that fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. The first home run of the season for the SLO Blues in the bottom of the 6th, courtesy of Jariah Lewis, who in his Blues debut has doubled, tripled, and homered. That's a strike on the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike on Thompson, who's 0 for 8 so far. He's struck out twice. He's grounded out to short. But 0 for 8 across these 2 games. 1-0. And that's rolled on the ground towards third. It's the third baseman Hicksonbaugh who cuts off Acosta and throws across the diamond for the out. With 1 away, here comes Danny Peters. Peters has walked and scored. He's doubled, and he struck out looking his last time up in the 5th. And he gets his first shot at Reynoso, who took over for Saldana, who went 5 1/3. Peters takes the curveball low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Danny Peters, all CCS first team at Palo Alto High School, as that's fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Has pitched and hit for the Legends this summer. We've only seen him as a hitter so far in this series, but he's also gone 7 innings on the mound, given up 5 earned runs, 8 hits and 5 walks. 1-1. He swings and fouls that one back into the glove of Bold. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has, though, been really impressive with the bat. Peters has 4 hits, including the double back in the 3rd. He's drawn some walks as well. 1-2. And he bends back out of the way of that fastball that just barely didn't hit him. Goes back to the screen, 2-2. Reynoso trying to get the Blues right back into the dugout and keep the momentum on SLO's side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He kicks and deals. And Peters taps it foul, just barely. And the count's still 2-2. Peters hopes to go into a psychology field as a psychologist within the field of sports or child development, working in the mental side of sports. 2-2. That is upstairs a little bit high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Peters, who has followed his head coach here to play for the Legends from San Francisco State, fouls that one out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes still. Top of the 7th, 1 out and a full count as Peters and Reynoso battling with 1 away. Reynoso fires and misses in the dirt with the changeup and a 1-out walk. So Peters is aboard for the 3rd time. He reached base 3 times as well yesterday, having himself a series. Josh Quinn, the 3rd baseman from Cal Lutheran, is up now. Hits in his first 2 at-bats. His last time up, he grounded out to the 3rd baseman Hickson ball. He comes up with a runner on and 1 out and takes the big looping curveball for a strike on the inside corner. Oh, 1. That Reynoso tries the curveball again and misses upstairs. Quinn, a graduate of St. Francis High School in the West Coast Athletic League, hit .348 in his senior season for the Lancers. Played his travel ball growing up with the California Bulldogs, along with a couple of his teammates. Here's the 1-1. It's in the dirt. Bull blocks it and keeps it around his general area. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ethan Payne, the catcher today for the Legends, also played for the Bulldogs, as well as Malcolm Sue, a pitcher who's on the roster for the Legends but did not make the trip here this weekend for Menlo Park. As here's the 2-1. Quinn fouls it back into the glove of Bold. I had the privilege as well of playing with those 3 guys. Growing up around the San Jose area, wearing the Navy black and white for the California Bulldogs, growing up around those teenage years. 2-2. And Quinn strikes out swinging. So Quinn strikes out for the first time today, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. But it's cool to see the areas that Josh Quinn is gone to. Starting shortstop for Cal Lutheran and 2nd on the team in slug. Yeah, that'll do. See, made it out of the Bay Area, and he's doing well for himself heading into his junior year. Here's Ryan Farr, who was also at Cal Lutheran last year, playing on the infield, and fouls it off 0-1. He was the team leader in runs batted in for the Legends last summer. And the first time we saw him in this series was yesterday night on the mound in a game that was well over by the time he came in. And while he was throwing so slow that it didn't register on our TrackMan. I think he's my favorite pitcher of the day. He threw a lot of strikes and got the Legends through those last couple innings. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reynoso kicks and deals and just misses on that inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. That one was close, and I think Reynoso wanted the call, but he didn't get it. Now a 2-ball count. 2-1 on the way. And Farr flies it out to center field. Lewis has a beat on it, though, and he tracks it into the gap to make the 2-hand catch. We're through 6.5. It is still 4-3 Legends, and the Blues have their work cut out for them as they come back up on the offensive side.
I don't deny there's some strange.
7-8-9 due up for the Blues, who trail by a run here at Sinsheimer Stadium. It's Price, Bold, and Hicksonbaugh due up. As Radonovich stays out on the mound for the Legends, the Blues still trailing by a run, trying to win their 4th in a row and extend this winning streak in the final game of the homestand. Darius Price, who is 0 for 2 in his Blues debut, takes a breaking ball for a strike. Price hit .243 this past season at Cal Poly Pomona. 7 home runs and 22 runs batted in. He looks at the 0-1, another strike. It's 0-2. Radonovich and the starter Pence have really filled up the strike zone well for the Legends. A big change of pace from yesterday's game where the Legends walked 16. As Price checks his swing at the 0-2 and goes around for strike 3. So a 3-pitch strikeout of Price is how this inning gets started. Jake Bold to the dish now, fly out and a strikeout. He had his first Blues hit yesterday night and catching for the 2nd straight day. Still looking to pick up the offense that he had this season at Princeton. He flies it down the right field line, base hit, just past the outstretched glove of the first baseman Peters, and Bold is aboard with his 2nd hit of the summer. Another one of those wacky hits. But Bold will take it down the right field line, and the Blues put the tying run on base here in the 7th for Jake Hicksonbaugh, who's 1 for 2. Hicksonbaugh hit .543 this past season at Arroyo Grande High School. In 94 at-bats, he had 51 hits and 47 RBI. How about an OPS of 1445 for your senior season? Caught the attention of Monterey Peninsula College, and the middle infielder playing 3rd base today for the Blues. We'll head there next year. 0-0. And that is inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Hicksonbaugh had to jump out of the way of that one. And he's ahead in the count. Blues trying to score and even this one up with the tying run aboard. 1-0. That's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Hicksonbaugh at the plate, and then back to the top of the order for the Blues, who have Nin Burns the second on deck. And I'm sure they're just trying to find a way to get Jariah Lewis up with a runner on base. Lewis has 3 extra base hits, including a first home run for the Blues this summer, and he scored all 3 runs. 2-0. Hicksonbaugh flies it foul. Got a good swing off, but couldn't keep it fair. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count on Jake Hicksonbaugh, 6'1", 170-pound left-hand hitter from Arroyo Grande. Rodanovic delivers, and Hicksonbaugh flies it foul again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's a little late on the fastball, but he's getting good swings off. Two and 2 the count. Rodanovic looks back at first. A long hold. He kicks and deals. And Hicksonbaugh taps it on the ground through the right side, base hit. Bold is chugging his way to third. Thompson, the right fielder, throws across the field, and Quinn, the third baseman, drops it. It was a rocket from Thompson, and Quinn couldn't keep it in the webbing. 2 runners on, both in scoring position for the Blues with 1 out. That was a great throw by Thompson, and Quinn is kicking himself at third base because he couldn't hold on as he tried to apply the tag to Bold. Aggressive base running for the Blues, and it pays off. And now the tying run and the potential go-ahead run are both in scoring position for the top of the order. Hicksonbaugh with yet another hit. All he does is hit. The hit tool is off the charts, and he, on the throw, advanced to second, which could prove to be a big base running play for the Blues. Infield is in for the Legends, trying to cut off the potential tying run. 0-0, and Burns takes a fastball low for a ball. Burns walked in the 5th. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. A strikeout looking to start the game and a ground out in the 3rd. Now the Legends play the middle infield even with the bag. 1-0. And another ball. A walk isn't the worst thing here. You've got a dangerous hitter at the plate in Nin Burns. Ruli's dangerous as well on deck, but a walk sets up a potential double play and a force at any base. Here's the 2-0. And Burns takes a fastball for a strike. Puts his head up in disbelief. He doesn't like the call as the count moves to 2-1. Looked to be slightly outside, but it could have gone either way. And it went in the way of Rodanovic, the pitcher, to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Bold at third, Hicksonbaugh at second. Real great speed at second base. 2-1. And that's outside. No doubt about that one. It's 3-1. Another look at the defense for the Legends. The first baseman, Peters, now takes a step back slightly off the grass as the Legends pull the infield back. 3 balls and 1 strike. Will Rodanovic come in or keep nibbling? He nibbles and misses off the inside corner. Close pitch, but Nin Burns takes a walk, his 5th in the last 2 days, and he loads the bases for Jacob Ruley. This is a make-it-or-break-it spot for the Blues. Bases loaded, just 1 out. And Ruley, who's 0 for 3, has a chance to come through and be the hero today for San Luis Obispo. But first, a meeting at the mound. The Legends going out to talk with Rodanovic. We're going to step away here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Don't go away. The Blues are trying to tie or take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Jacob Ruley's up in a big spot. It's bases loaded, 1 out for the Blues, who trail by 1 run. Radonovich is staying out for the Legends, who just walked in Burns to load the bases. Ruley is 0 for 3, hitting now just under 300 on the summer. But a hit would at the very least tie this game and could very well put the Blues in the lead. Ruley trying to avoid hitting into a double play. Oh well, he bends back out of the way of the slider. It's inside. 1 ball and no strikes. I wonder if he had a second shot at that, if he would have stayed in the box, taken it off the hip, and tied this game. Radonovich looks in for his sign, 1-0. He has it in the stretch, black glove held just above his green belt. He deals, and Ruley tags it deep to left field. Going back is O'Driscoll. He looks up. It's off the top of the wall. 1 runs in. Here comes Ixenbaugh. Around third. Here's it in Burns. He scores. Throw goes to third, and Ruley's tagged out there. A 3 RBI double, and the Blues are in the lead. It's 6-4 after Ruley unloaded and missed a home run by about 2.5 feet. But the Blues roar back, and they're ahead by 2. What a shot off the bat of Ruley. And just like that, it's a new game. Ruley with a double, and he brings in 3. And here's the hero of the game so far, Jariah Lewis, who's a single away from the cycle. And he breaks his bat, chops it to first, and Peters comes up with it, tags the bag for the final out. No cycle for Lewis here in the 7th, but the Blues take the lead for the first time today. It's 6-4 as we head to the top of the 8th.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
We're back here at Sinsheimer Stadium, where for the first time today, the SLO Blues have the lead against the Menlo Park Legends. The Blues plated 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th on the 3 RBI double from Jacob Ruley. And now the Blues just 6 outs away from coming up with their 4th straight win. Omar Reynoso stands hands on hips as we wait for the kids to leave the field after the footloose frenzy. And now he's ready. A big offensive explosion for the Blues, and Ruley was right in the middle of it. And now Reynoso looks in at Felsch and deals a strike. It's Felsch, then Nanez, and then Payne, right near the bottom of the order for the Menlo Park Legends, who suddenly find themselves trailing for the first time today. 0-1. Big curveball is a little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Felsch has singled, struck out, and flown out. He's 1 for 3. Here's Reynoso's 1-1. It's a two-seamer that bends back across the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. Reynoso came in relief of Saldana back in the 6th inning. Saldana worked the first 5 1/3. Reynoso came in and got 2 outs with the bases loaded. 1-2. That's outside. Reynoso did give up 1 run, but now all of a sudden that doesn't matter quite as much as the Blues ahead in this game 6-4. Reynoso readies up, 2-2. And a big curveball, strike 3 swinging. Felsch with the sword, and there's 1 away. He'll go back and resheed that in the dugout. Reynoso has another strikeout. Antonio Nanez to the dish now. He's 1 for 2 with a walk as well. Singled and scored back in the 2nd and grounded out in the 4th. Reynoso continues to pound in strikes for the Blues, and he might very well go the rest of this game for San Luis Obispo if he can give them the length and finish out the 9th inning. But got to get through the 8th first with a 1-ball and 1-strike count on Nanez. A home run from Lewis made it 4-3 a couple innings ago, and then with the bases loaded and 1 out, Rulli said, I'm not hitting into a double play, and hit that monster double. Leg kick from Reynoso and a strike on the inside corner, looking like Johnny Cueto in left-hand form. It's 1-2. One strike away. He kicks and deals, and that's popped up on the infield. The catcher Bold is over, and he calls off Pemberton and makes the catch, bending backwards. Almost fell backwards completely, but made the catch for the 2nd out. Ethan Payne, who singled back in the 6th inning on a bloop to right field, comes up with 2 outs now. As Reynoso looking to work the Blues' 3rd 1-2-3 inning in this game. And if he can do it here, it'd be a big spot to keep the momentum on the Blues side. 0-0. And Payne lofts it on the infield towards the left side. Acosta, the shortstop, is into shallow left, and it's Rulli, the hero with the double, who calls him off. He's got to go all the way back to pick up his hat, but he retires the 3rd out in the inning. We head bottom 8. It's 6-4 Blues.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today.
New pitcher in for the Legends in a 6-4 game here in the bottom of the 8th. It's the right-hander Zach Sullivan, who has a 7.00 ERA across 5 innings pitched so far this summer for the Legends. In those 5 innings, he's given up 2 hits, 7 walks, 8 strikeouts, but given up the 5 earned runs. Hard to hit, but also a lot of walks. And he'll face Jason Hansen, JP Acosta, and Luke Pemberton, with the Blues up by 2, trying to add some insurance before the 9th. The Blues do have an arm warming up in the bullpen. If it's a right-hander, if I had to guess, it's Matthew Gonzalez, who leads the team in saves, warming up for the ninth. At the plate is Hansen, and he pops that one up, foul, back and out of play. It's no balls and 1 strike. Getting dark here in San Luis Obispo as we reach 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast. The lights are on, but it's the twilight sky that has given people some problems here in the outfield at Sinsheimer this year. 0-1 the count on Hansen, and Sullivan misses high. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Sullivan from Mission College, a transfer from Kenyatta College, deals 1-1 and spots up on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Blues trying to win their 4th straight game. Their win streak of 3 right now is already more than they had at any point last summer. They're trying to close out this 9-game homestand with a 7-2 record and send the fans home happy. 1-2 to Hansen. That's strike 3 call on the outside corner. Vicious fastball for the first out. 87 miles an hour out of the hand, and it totally froze Hansen on the outside corner. There's 1 away, and here comes J.P. Acosta. Acosta has struck out twice and grounded out to shortstop in his Blues debut. And the switch hitter gets another shot to bat lefty, the 3rd right-hander in the game for the Legends today. It was Pence to start. Radonovich gave up the bulk of the runs. And this is Zach Sullivan. Sullivan working from the first base side of the rubber, trying to keep this just a 2-run game as Acosta spoils that one foul. It's 1-1. The Blues have the best non-league record of any CCL team. The next closest team's the Lincoln Potters, who swept the Legends in Lincoln. The Potters, though, 5-3 heading into today in non-league. The Blues 6-2, and are 3 outs away on defense from improving that record to 7-2 before CCL play starts tomorrow. That 1-1 bounces before the plate. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. A win today would give the Blues more non-league victories than all of last summer as well. It would be their 7th victory outside of CCL play, and the Blues went 6-6 last year. Here's the 2-1. And Acosta lines it on 1 hop to the first baseman Peters. A topspin line drive that he picked on the short hop, and Acosta's out. Hit it hard, but nothing to show for it. So with 2 outs, Luke Pemberton, who's 1 for 3, comes up, trying to extend the inning as the Blues are searching for some insurance before heading to the 9th inning. As we saw last night, basically no lead is safe, especially 2 runs. There were 29 combined runs in yesterday's game, scoring up and down the box score. Today, runs have been at a little bit more of a premium, and the Blues are in the lead for the first time after the bottom of the 7th. Pemberton takes a 1-0 fastball in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Coming up for the Menlo Park Legends, they'll have the 9-hole spot due up to lead off the inning. That's Ryan Anderson. Then is back to the top of the order, O'Driscoll and Thompson due up in the 9th. 2-0. And Pemberton takes that fastball upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. Pemberton would take a 2-out walk. That would put him on for Darius Price, who's 0 for 3 today. But the Blues and the Legends, matter of fact, have scored plenty of runs with 2 outs in just this 2-game series. .3-0 on the way. And Pemberton takes 2 high. A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. And Luke Pemberton, the Pepperdine Wave, is at first. Darius Price coming up now, 0 for 3. He grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 2nd on a chopper to 3rd with a runner at 3rd. The throw went home to get Pemberton. Since then, there's been a ground out to 2nd and a strikeout back in the 7th. Price looks for the sign at third base. Might see Pemberton on the move as the Blues trying to manufacture a run here to lengthen their lead with Pemberton at first. The righty Zach Sullivan working from the stretch for the first time. Comes set and makes a quick throw to first. But Pemberton read it all the way and he's back in. Sullivan readies 0-0. Tan glove held at his green belt. He kicks and deals. And a big swing and a miss from Price. It's 0-1. Price, 5'11", 185 pounds, the sophomore from Fontana, California. Graduated Rancho Cucamonga High School. Played this past season as a freshman at Cal Poly Pomona. Was tied for the team lead with 7 home runs. 0-1. And Price, inside out, swings it into right field. The right fielder, Thompson, can't find it, and it drops. Pemberton's on his horse, heading for third. The throw goes there, and the runner advances. Pemberton tries to take off, but Price is gunned out at second base. And heavy boos here at Sinsheimer Stadium as Price is thrown out to end the inning. So 2 runs will have to be enough as the Blues can't argue this call. We head to the top of the 9th inning. It's 6-4 Blues.
mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today.
Noah Zertucci is pinch hitting to lead off the inning for the Menlo Park Legends. He comes in the ninth spot for Ryan Anderson as the Blues are sticking with Omar Reynoso up by 2 runs in the ninth, trying to secure their 4th straight win and improve to 7-2 in the final game of this homestand. Zertucci played in yesterday's game, the sophomore from the College of William and Mary, leading off the ninth. As Reynoso deals that two-seamer on the outside corner for a strike, it's 0-1. Yesterday night, Zertucci had 2 singles in the middle of the ballgame, the 4th and 5th. He finished 2 for 6. 0-1. He looks at that changeup in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Reynoso in line for a win if he can close this one out. 29 runs scored yesterday, just 10 combined for both of these teams today. And the Blues want to keep it that way and win here in the 9th inning. It was the 3-run double from Jacob Ruley that put the Blues ahead, as a 1-1 fastball is fought off out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zertucci played in 33 games at William & Mary as a freshman. Had a 180 average, walked 9 times, 11 hits, and 61 at-bats. Hard guy to strike out, though. He only struck out 15 times. And 1-2. And he fouls it back. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. First team all-conference as a senior at Moreau Catholic High School. That was Zertucci in his senior year on a Moreau Catholic team that ended up winning the league championship. So he knows a thing or two about high-leverage baseball. Reynoso from the stretch. Looks in and deals 1-2. Misses outside with that fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just past 8:30 p.m. here on the West Coast. Blues 3 outs away from winning this one. Two on the way. Just outside. Reynoso started his K strut, but now has to walk back and take the ball to come home 3-2. On deck is Colin O'Driscoll, the leadoff hitter, but there might be another pinch hitter waiting in the wings. In fact, it is. It's the catcher, Jacob Froese, who leads the team in batting average, who stands on deck in the leadoff spot. 3-2. That's fouled out of play as well. Battle brewing between Omar Reynoso and the pinch hitter, Noah Zertucci. Three balls, 2 strikes, as Reynoso looking for the first out here in the ninth. He comes set from the stretch. Kicks and fires. And a foul off of Bold and back to the screen. This will be the 9th pitch in the at-bat as Zertucci is making it hard on Reynoso here to start the 9th inning. The Blues have quieted the bullpen. So for now, this is Reynoso's inning. Don't want to walk to lead off the frame. That would bring the tying run to the plate. Another payoff. And that's tapped foul. We'll go to 10 pitches. Zertucci understanding his role. Try and get on any way possible and foul away anything close. It's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reynoso readies up. Reaches high, now comes set. He strides and shoots. And Zertucci strikes out swinging. Reynoso wins it on the 10th pitch, and there's 1 out. Reynoso continuing with the Ks. He's been excellent in relief of Saldana, and in fact it will be Froese, the pinch hitter, yesterday night's catcher, coming to the plate in the leadoff spot for Colin O'Driscoll, the left fielder, with 1 out. Yesterday, Froese had 1 hit. He was hit by a pitch in the first, but he finished 1 for 5. And with 1 out, he steps in for the first time today. Reynoso now 2 outs away from getting the Blues through this one. He comes set. Teal glove held at his navy blue belt. Kicks and deals. And misses low with that changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Froese, the team leader in batting average. Went 5 for 9 a series ago against the Lincoln Potters. Leads the team in just about every offensive category. Batting average, hits, runs batted in. Had the day off today, but Nick White couldn't keep him out of the lineup here in the 9th inning. 1-0. And Froese takes it outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The command waiting a little bit as Reynoso gets deeper into his outing. Reynoso looks in. This will be his 49th pitch. 2-0. And he gets a swing and a miss. That was out of the zone. Froese chased. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Reynoso, who's been used primarily as a starting pitcher for the Blues, coming out of the bullpen for the first time this season. He's answered the bell, trying to get 2 more outs. Here's the 2-1 offering. And Froese snubs it foul off the end of the bat towards the Blues dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is another potential pinch hitter, Jackson Snitko, who played first base yesterday. He would bat for Nick Thompson if he stays out there and heads to the plate. Right now, though, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Froese. The pitch. And fouled away. Froese tapped it off his own foot. And he's got to walk that one off on this 50-degree San Luis Obispo night. Another great crowd again, as the Blues want to send the fans home happy. They've rallied the entire homestand. 9 straight games here at Sinsheimer Stadium to open up the summer season for the Blues in 2023. And they're trying to finish it with a 7-2 record. An excellent display early this season for the San Luis Obispo Blues, who are 2 outs away from a victory. Reynoso readies up. Looks in at Froese. He fires and misses in the dirt with the changeup. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yet another hitter going to a full count against Reynoso. Any base runner would bring the tying run to the plate here with just a 2-run Blues lead. Reynoso shrugs off one sign, now has the one he wants. Comes set and looks in. He strides and shoots. And Froese fouls it out of play. Reynoso having trouble putting it past these Legends hitters who are battling up tough here in the 9th inning. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes as Froese re-enters the box. And Reynoso readies up again for another 3-2. Down Broadway he comes. And misses high with the curveball. It's a 1-out walk, and the tying run will come to the plate. It is going to be a pinch hitter, Jackson Snitko, coming to the plate. Yesterday night's first baseman from San Francisco State. The right-handed hitter steps up in a big spot. Walked and singled yesterday. Finished the night 1 for 4. And now there's a meeting at the mound as Dean Traynor is coming out. There is a right-hander warming up. It does look like Matthew Gonzalez, and I think they're going to take the ball from Reynoso. Traynor pats him on the back and sends him off back to the dugout. Gonzalez, the right-hander, is coming in, and we'll be right back here on the SLO Blues streaming network.
But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
It's the tried and true for San Luis Obispo. Matthew Gonzalez, who leads the team with 3 saves and 4 appearances, is coming in with a runner at first and 1 out in the 9th. Pinch hitter coming to the plate. Jackson Snitko is coming up. Froese, who also pinch hit, drew a walk off Omar Reynoso. And now Gonzalez is in to try and save this game for the Blues. and send the fans home happy with a win in the final game of this 9-game homestand. The Blues looking to win their 4th straight. Gonzalez, the right-hander, looks in at the left-handed hitting Snitko and deals, and misses low with that fastball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Snitko yesterday, as we mentioned, had a hit, scored 1 run after walking in the 9th inning, but finished the day 1 for 4. Gonzalez, the righty, wiggles on the third base side of the rubber and fires a fastball in. It's lifted in the air to left field. Ruley can't find it, but makes the catch. I wonder if Ruley was trying to deke out Frost, the runner, at first, because he put his hands up like he couldn't find it, but then made it look so casual after he did for the second out. So Gonzalez comes in and gets an out, and now everything for the Legends rests on the shoulders of Danny Peters with 2 outs. He's got 2 walks and a double today. He's 1 for 2. Gonzalez still a 0 ERA and 3 saves for the Blues. He works the breaking ball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzalez, the 5'9", 175-pound right-hander from UC Colorado Springs, has now thrown 7 complete innings for the Blues, 10 strikeouts. 1-0. Peters takes the breaking ball for a strike. It's 1-1. Just 4 hits allowed for Gonzalez across those 7 innings. He's only walked 2, and Dean Traynor has trusted him late in games. 1-1. Peters taps it towards short. This could be end of the game. Acosta glove flips to second for the out, and that's the final. The Blues win their 4th in a row. They win their 7th on the homestand, and they'll head to Santa Barbara happy tomorrow with 7 non-conference wins. It's a 6-4 final as the Blues come back and win this one and sweep the Legends in 2 games. The winning pitcher is Omar Reynoso. Matthew Gonzalez gets his 4th save, and the Blues get their 4th consecutive win. What a homestand it was for the Blues. They swept the Coastal Dodgers to start, split a 2-game set with the Bay Area Admirals, came back to win the series against the Mudcats, and showed up in full force here on Thursday and Friday to beat the Menlo Park Legends in 2 games. And they send everyone here at Sinsheimer happy with a 6-4 victory. We're going to take a step away here on the SLO Blues streaming network and try and get an interview with one of the couple players that were the heroes for the Blues today. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're here back on the SLO Blues streaming network, back in the broadcast booth with your Blues player of the game. It's Jariah Lewis. Jariah, in your Blues debut, how about almost hitting for the cycle? 3 for 4, 3 extra base hits, the first home run of the Blues summer. I'm asking you first thing, did you know it was gone off the bat?
I did know it was gone. I saw my first base coach celebrating off the bat, so that just let me know it was gone.
You went to one of the deeper parts of the yard, too. When you came in, of course, playing in your first game for the Blues, how confident were you feeling going into it? Did you know you had this in store?
Yeah, I put in the work past school year, so I just wanted to come out and just play.
What was your first impression of Sinsheimer Stadium? Of course, they're cheering you on as you round the bases and you guys come back to win the game. Was it fun playing in front of this many fans during the summer?
Oh, yeah, it's a great environment, good vibes, especially with my teammates. But, yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the summer.
And I know you were watching from the on-deck circle when the Blues did take the lead. I know with the kind of day you were having, I'm sure you thought you might have a chance at it, but Jacob comes in, hits the 3-run double off the wall. What's your perspective watching on the field from the on-deck circle?
Oh, it was crazy, especially him hitting it down the line. Yeah, it was crazy, but he came in after he got thrown out saying, "Oh, my bad." And I was like, "You almost hit a grand slam?" I was like, but yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, he just missed the grand slam by about 1.5 feet. And then you come up in your final at bat. You know the bases are loaded now. There's less pressure on you, but you're a single away from the cycle. Were you pressing a little bit in that at bat to try and hit for the cycle?
I thought about it a few innings before, but I just tried to go up there and keep doing what I was doing previously. But yeah, it is what it is.
You ever hit for the cycle at any level before, or that would have been the first one?
Would have been the first.
Well, there'll be more coming this summer, but you got to hit the 3 extra base hits in your first 3 at-bats again. But you guys head to Santa Barbara tomorrow, and then they come here. How important is that CCL matchup for you guys coming up this weekend?
It's pretty important. First CCL game. I heard it's a pretty big rivalry. So, yeah, we're just going to go in there and try to win some games.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. The Blues go on the road for the first time tomorrow, facing the Foresters at 6 p.m. Then they'll be back here at Sinsheimer Stadium. So come here at 2 p.m. for the big rivalry game. Joined alongside Jariah Lewis, I'm Jack Smith. Thank you for tuning in to the SLO Blues streaming network. We'll be live on the road tomorrow.